Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I have an update for my favorite project pan that I do, and it is the THOSE Eyeshadows project pan. So this was originally created by Alexi. However, she's not updating anymore, and I think that we have strayed from like the original idea. Everyone is doing this project quite differently. So what I do here is that I work on 6 shades from my entire eyeshadow collection. I randomly generate 5 of those shades, and then I handpick one shade myself. I also have the goal is to hit pan, of course, but if I have used the shade 20 times, I can roll it out. Also, if I enroll like a matte black eyeshadow or a pressed glitter, I only have to work on those 10 times. So those are my rules, and it has been working out so well for me. In this project I've been able to hit so many pans, and I love to, because I have a huge ass eyeshadow collection, and like randomly generating shades from the entire collection makes me like pull eyeshadow palettes that I would not maybe work on otherwise. So it is helping me to rotate through my eyeshadow collection. Sometimes, however, the random number generator gods are very ironic, and you know, out of all of my shades I do get sometimes to I generate shades from the exact same palette, like in a row. So we shall see what we are doing today, but we have a little doggo here. This is the color story that I have been working on from February till now. So I have these updates like in mid-March or in the middle of the month. So this is the color story I have been working on since the middle of February, and I like to update in the middle of the month on this eyeshadow project. So it is a very nice seasonally appropriate color story with like some blues and some really pretty shimmer shades. So we're going to talk about all of the shades. Last time I had a super successful update. I like 5 out of these 6 shades were actually generated last time. So I don't have the like as good of an update, but I have some rollouts, so you should definitely stick around if you want to know what shades that I have hit my goal on or hit pan on. Okay, I swatched these like to make a good color story, but this first shade is actually the shade that has been in since I think the beginning of the year. It is the shade ABQ from my Peachy Queen Breaking Shades palette. This is a palette that I have not used that much in my collection, so it was good to this is the reason why I do this project, because I get to remind myself of all of the eyeshadows that I have that are like forgotten in my collection. So the shade ABQ, I had some good use on this last time. I will show you the progress pictures of what it looked like since rolling it in. I think that I had used it like 10ish times in January, and then now in February I have used this shade an additional 9 times. So I have used it 19 times, which is quite a lot. And this is what we're looking like today. So as you can see, we do have a shiny little pan there. I was so lucky to get that pan after 19 uses. I thought that, you know what, I'm good with rolling this one out. I have had like a very green color story since the beginning of the year, and I've been like, this pulls very teal on me, like blue, but it's looking more green, I think, in the palette than it does on my skin, because I'm a cool toned girly. So we are finally rolling out ABQ. Super happy to have had this palette out and to have been using all of the shades. I do use this project also like a no pan left behind. So I have been dipping into all of the shades in this palette apart from ABQ, but we are rolling that one out. The next shade here is this dark like green. It's not super shimmery, but it's more like of a satin shimmer shade. That one, as I said, ironically, sometimes I generate eyeshadows from palettes that I have just been working on. So this one is the shade Cuba, and it comes from my Juvia's Place, the Tribe palette. This is a very beautiful palette, and one of my goals was to hit pan in all of my Juvia's Place palettes. If you want to know how that goal is going, you should also keep on watching. But yeah, I had already worked on a shade from this one from January. I handpicked the shade Chaga to work on, and then I generated last time the shade Cuba, which is just next to Chaga, which was interesting. So we did get this dark shade here. I have been using this dark shade like a lot on the lower lash line, but also like I am doing today, I have it as my eyeliner, which works out surprisingly well, I think. So as of today, I have used I have used Cuba 13 times, and this is what we're looking like. So you can see there is a super big dip. There's no pan, but if you look at Chaga, like I must be so goddamn close. I swear to you that I will hit pan like next time I use this shade, but no pan as of yet. As I said, this is a very stunning palette. It still performs so well, even though it is a bit older in my collection. I really love this, surprisingly actually, like brown shade. It is like warm toned, kind of like almost going to green. This is a beautiful light lime green shade also. So I'm very happy to have been playing around with this one, but honestly, like I did hit pan in this one, I did not want to work on that one right after. So we are keeping this palette in. Then the next shade here is this beautiful, I don't know if you can see the flip, but it is this pink to green shimmer shade. It is absolutely stunning, and that one comes from my Salem Cosmetics Love is Blood palette. I was actually going to pull this from my Pan Your Book project pan, but since I generated it in this project, we had to figure something else out. So this is a very nice, it's like bordering monochromatic, but you have some nice like, you have this yellow shade and you also have like a brown shade. It is very fun to use, and I enjoy the quality of Salem Cosmetics eyeshadows. So since running it in, I also pulled this one in last time. I have used this shade. It is called Resilience, if I did not say. I have used it 9 times, and this is what we're looking like. So you can see that pan even though the shade is very sparkly. So I was able to pan in 9 uses. These are very like emollient shades, so kind of push the shadow around a bit. But yeah, I'm very happy with the progress. I have used this like on looks today, but now I'm using a different shade from my Those eyeshadows. But I've been wearing a lot of pinks and I have been actually loving it. So we are rolling out the shade Resilience. Then below that shade we have this very sparkly silver pink shimmer shade, and that comes from the Klarity Cosmetics Bridal Party. This is a beautiful palette. It is quite neutral, but the shimmer shades are out of this world. Now, this shade is called First Dance. This palette is going to look a bit different because we had some tragedy Disaster Strike. I have used this shade called First Dance. I have used it 6 times, so not that many times, but we are looking like this. This is what the palette looks like now. And as you can see, we have this shade. It used to be a blue, like very dark blue shimmer shade. It is not here anymore. It kind of imploded on itself. Like it got this crater and all the shadow like flew out, and then when I was going to try and like clean it out very, very carefully, everything just fell out. So unfortunately, this is what that shade is like now. And yeah, it's just not saving. It's not savable, so to speak. It is just... So that sucks. It really sucks. Because I loved this palette, and now it is... I've been trying to clean it up, but you can see that the edges of these shades are like dark. Because there's that blue shadow just circling around the edges of all of these other shadows. So that is super, super sad. Also, I have used First Dance 6 times. This is a very deep pan, if you're able to see. Like, it is so messy, still so messy. But yeah, these pans are quite deep, so I don't know if we will be able to hit pan in 20 uses. For me, if I don't, it's okay, because it is a beautiful shade, so I'm not like mad at it, and I'm happy to use it. But yeah, we shall see. I see that we have sparkles in all of the matte shades. So we are keeping it in for at least 14 more uses. Then down here we have my hand-picked shade. This is the shade Jehide, I think. And this is also from my last Juvia Space palette that did not have pan, and it's the Magic Mini. So this is an old school palette. Used to be a favorite for many, many YouTubers. It is a very, very beautiful palette, and it still performs really well, even though it is up there in the years in my collection. And yeah, I was planning to handpick something else, but then when I rolled in these shimmer shades, I had to rethink. So I picked a very dark shade. I thought that this would be great to deepen up this ABQ shade, and I could also use it as a liner. And that is exactly the way I have been using this shade. I have used Jehide 14 times. And this is what that palette looks like. So you can see that we do have pan in that shade. I don't have an issue hitting pan on Juvia's Place shadows. It's not that difficult for me, so I am so happy to now have pan in my final Juvia shade palette. And now I need to set new goals, like what new, because I have collected like a lot of palettes from other brands, so now like which brand should I try and hit pan in all of my palettes next? We shall see. But yeah, we have pan on that one, and it took, as I said, 14 times. Then finally we have a shade that is on my eyeballs today. It is this sparkly gold. I have topped it with like a pink from a different palette, but it is this gold shade down here, and it is from my, pardon me, it is from my Hey Reindeer palette from Odin's Eye. Now I have so many Odin's Eye palettes currently in my collection, so I will probably it will probably be a lot of Odin's Eye generated, because I have I think those are the majority of my eyeshadows are currently like Odin's Eye. So this shade is called Christmas Stockings, and it's a very beautiful creamy gold. It is, however, it has like a lot of fallout, a lot of glitter fallout. I have been using a cream glitter shadow to put on as a base and then put this on top to make like to have it like a glitter glue, and I have been liking using it that way. I have currently used Christmas stockings 11 times, and this is what it looks like today. So we have a humongous dip but no pan. I think I used, yeah, I panned a Nodens Eye last round, like a shade like this, but it was more on that yellow, and it took 14 uses. So maybe around that time we shall see a pan, but I have been loving playing around with this one. It's not very Christmassy, even though it's their like Christmas palette from 2023, but it's actually working out super nice to play around with these days as well. A lot of these like pinks are really beautiful. I have been using them a lot. So we are still keeping in Christmas stockings for at least 9 more uses. So that, guys, means that we are rolling out this shade from the Peachy Queen, we are rolling out Resilience, we are rolling out Jade. So half of the shades will be new. One of the shades will be hand-picked, since that one, since I am rolling out the shade I hand-picked. So we are going to generate and see what number we will get. So I have currently 3,450 eyeshadows in my collection, and let's generate 2 new shades. 455. It is a Juvia's Place shade. Okay. It is my Juvia's Place Afrique palette, and it's the shade Togo. It might be a super blue shade. We shall see. Okay, final shade that I will generate. 2,429. Okay, 2,429 comes from my Martine Cosmetics Mission XXX palette, which is super pretty. I did work on it, I think, last year, but in a different project. It is the shade Jones. Don't know what that one will be, but it's a green-gray palette, so interesting. I'm gonna go and get those 2 palettes and figure out what hand-picked shade I will have, and I will be right back. I'm back. So, to recall, this is the color story we are changing up. So this is the old color story, and this is the new color story. It is a bit more neutral, but let me talk you through these 3 shades down here so you will know what I have, what I will be working on. So, as I am like, this is the old shade from the Juvia's Place, this is Christmas Stockings, and this is First Dance. So this first shade here, this green shimmer, which is like a lighter version of this one, that is the Juvia's Place Afrique palette, and it is the shade Togo. So Togo is just a green shimmer shade. This is what that palette looks like. I already have a pan in Angelique down here, but now we are rolling in this shade up here, and not the most fun, I have to admit, but it is what it is. It is a Juvia's Place, so it won't be too difficult, I hope. But yeah, that is the shade Togo that we will be working on. The next shade is, like, I only have shimmers up here, so this is also a shimmer. It's not too sparkly, but it is like this brown to green duochrome that are seen in many palettes, and that one is the shade Jones from this Martine Cosmetics. This is such a fun palette. I got this from my boyfriend, was it 2 Christmases ago? It is the Mission XXX, and as I said, it's a green and grey dream. This is what that palette looks like, and Jones is this shade up here. So I have a pan in this matte black, And now I enrolled that shade next doors. There is a little dip here going on in Carter. I think I use this like in my inner corner a bit. But that is what Jones is looking like. So you can see that there is like a green to brown. But the base is that brown. They are pretty deep, these shades, but it will be fun to play around a bit more with this one. I love me my greens. We are still rolling with the greens, and that is why this last shade is my handpicked shade. And I decided that I have not played around with my Made by Mitchell palettes for a while. So I have two of these big palettes that don't have pan, and one of them have pan. This is the, what is it? Feet on the Ground. Yeah, the Feet on the Ground palette. And it is absolutely gorgeous. This is what that palette looks like. Green and neutrals. So I was looking into this and was like, what shade should I be picking? Because, you know, looking at the rest of my color story and everything. And I went with this called, what are you called? Board in the House. And it's this brown green dark shade up here. I thought I can use this like I did that blue that I just rolled out, this one, but now we have a more neutral shade. I can use it to deepen up my outer corner because I do enjoy like a dark outer corner, but I can also use it as my liner. Like when I hit pan on this blue shade, I can continue using this as a liner and probably hit pan on that shade pretty easily. I don't remember how it was working on the last shade from a different palette, but I will be playing around, of course, with all of the shades in this palette. I see some that don't look used, but some are used, so this deserves more love, absolutely, by me. And yeah, I'm happy to have this one out. So that is it. This is my new color story. Moving into spring, it actually looks very, very pretty and nice. It could also be like a good fall color story, but I am happy to play around with these shades. I can like do a springy twist and have a very bright inner corner if I want to. You know, I have many options with this color story. It's not too stark in color, so I can add whatever I want to. But let me know what you think about my new color story, and what shades should I be able to work out. I should be able to roll out this top shade and also the Christmas stocking shade. Those should be out by next update. Maybe first dance. We shall see. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please say hi in the comments. I do love to hear from you, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!